Welcome to Our Girl Relationships. We talk about the problems people face in their day to day lives. Let's start with the video. My mother in law, Lily, has always been the type to know it all. I mean, who would know better than me? She's been in my life ever since I was a baby. Yes, the unbearable woman who I was going to call my mother in law was in my life since the longest I could remember. The history between Lily and I goes way back. I mean, not me particularly, but my family. My mom and Lily have been best friends since their college days, and honestly, the difference between the two of them makes me always wonder how a woman like my mom would call an entitled person like Lily her best friend. But I mean, I guess from afar, I couldn't tell either. After all, I think my mom's soft spoken side complements Lily's outspoken side very well. Honestly, I wasn't all that interested in their friendship, and this post isn't about the tales about their friendship either. It's about me and John. John is Lily's youngest son, the apple of the eye, and my dear husband. Now, it might sound like a romance novel to you all after hearing the fact that I got married to my mom's best friend's son. And honestly, in the beginning, when I was only a teen, only saying highs and hellos to Lily every once in a blue moon, everything felt like a dream, too. I thought, what more would I need to worry? I've known my mother in law all my life. She probably considers me as her own. I truly lucked out, but nope. What I thought was a romantic fairy tale was only going to turn out to be a horror novel full of nightmares, and boy, everything began hitting slowly, like a really good roller coaster. Except this was the roller coaster of life, and watching Lily slowly take off her mask to unleash her horrible side was not fun. Everything was great initially towards the end of high school. John and I had started to hang out a lot, and I knew there was a spark between us. So, you all can only imagine my excitement when I found out we were going to be in the same city for college. I saw this opportunity and knew I had to take it fully. And thanks to Lily, the only good thing she could ever do, we ended up sharing an apartment. This gave us a chance to hang out more, making us realize how similar we were, even with our external differences, and the tension slowly started building between the two of us. Until one day, eventually, John broke the ice and asked me out. Needless to say, I said yes, of course, the very same day itself. I informed my mom and Lily about it, and although Lily wasn't as happy as I anticipated, I chalked it up to her being shocked. So we start to date, and everything is as okay as it can be between Lily and I. Lily doesn't talk too much about our relationship, neither too positively or negatively, and although it was hurtful, my mom's reassurances always made me try harder to bond with her. And although they failed terribly because of her coldness, I just sipped my mouth and told myself to give her time. Well, thinking back, I wish she stayed that way because now, whenever I see her, I only wish she could shut up. Unfortunately, after 4 years of wishing for so long that Lily opened up to me, like my mom had to John, the angels had finally heard me, and as soon as I got engaged, it all began. Her craziness jumped out as if I had just opened Pandora's box. And boy, how much I wish I could shut it close. Well, there was no coming back from it, though, because I was soon going to find out that she was going to torment me with her unnecessary remarks, advice, and comments all throughout my wedding planning and my two pregnancies. It's not like I've never put my foot down, though. We've gotten into numerous arguments, disagreements over everything. My choices, my parenting style, my tastes, and every time I've made sure to shut her up, resulting in little Lily running to my mom to complain about me. Now, a lot of things have changed amidst all this. We have moved to another city, and currently I'm pregnant with my third baby. This time it was almost the same case. We were literally in the middle of an argument as she was over to look after me, as John is out of the city for a business trip. Mom is out sick and can't drive over, and I'm having a very sensitive pregnancy. So it's just me, Lily, and the kids at home. And as I was saying, we were literally in the middle of an argument when I felt a rush of pain in my belly. It was sharp and hard, and I knew I had to see doctors, as that is what they had advised due to the sensitivity of my pregnancy. So I told my mother in law to just look after the kids as I booked myself a cab and got to the hospital. I knew the first red flag and mistake was leaving my children with her, but as I said, I quite literally had no options. Well, I was advised a 3-day stay for observation, and I took my doctors up for it, letting my mother in law do the same and suggesting she not come to see me with the kids because it wasn't anything that serious. Second mistake. Well, she only came over to give me some snacks and a couple of changes of clothes, and she left. Throughout my stay, she called me, had my children speak to me, and nothing, I mean nothing, seemed wrong. My children sounded as normal as they would, and my mother in law was sweeter than ever. So I took a breath of relief, and after being well rested and receiving a thumbs up from the doctors, I returned home. By that time, John had returned back from his trip too, and Lily just rushed out of the house. It was weird, definitely not something she would do, but honestly, I was just glad she left. So even before I can ask anything, when my kids get out of bed, they ask me something that breaks my heart into a million pieces. Do we get food today? They ask me. And of course, all confused, I ask them what they meant. That is when they tell me everything. From how my mother in law took them back to her city to a pediatrician, how she didn't feed them for the entirety of those 2 days, and even the next when I wasn't back home. I started panicking at that point, asking them why they didn't tell me about all of this on the calls we made, and their answer was that she promised to feed them if they lied. I saw red and just looked at John, giving him a death glare. He knew his mom had messed up this time. I simply just picked up the phone and called up Lily until she picked up. I immediately confronted her, and she sounded all innocent, trying to act like she had no idea about what I was talking about. I told her that if she wasn't going to tell me, she should be ready to tell the cops. That's when she quit her act and spat it all at me, telling me that she did it for the good of them because that was unhealthy. I couldn't hear any of her BS because I knew I could probably punch her in the face if I saw her anywhere around me right now. I called the cops who arrived soon after and took a report while making my children talk about the whole incident. It didn't take them long to track her down and take her to the police station because my phone started blowing up soon after. I guess she thought I was joking after all. It wasn't just her, though. My mom, my father in law, and everyone soon started blowing my phone up about the situation. Now I'm feeling that my confidence about this situation is slightly reduced. AITA? I sat John down first and talked to him about the situation. You guys were right. He was terribly quiet about it all. And when I tried to get him to speak out, he blew up at me, telling me that he was fed up with me trying to bring his mom down. I was stunned. I knew at that moment all the love, respect I ever had for this man was gone. And now I just had the strength to fight for my kids even more. I knew he had a hand in all of this because by the way he spoke, and after recalling a previous couple of interactions regarding this matter, it all just clicked to me, and I could no longer let this man live under my roof, and I told him so. The most heartbreaking part was that he just simply got up, packed his things, and left. Currently, my mom and dad are coming over, and honestly, I'm ready to drop them too if their reactions are as similar to John's. Hi, everyone. My parents drove to my town today, and they were here with my father-in-law. As soon as they walked in, they seemed like they were going to really end me. But I wasn't going to let them have any of it. I sat them down and immediately told them everything and made my sons confirm. They seemed stunned, especially my father-in-law, because apparently both John and Lily had told them completely different sets of events. All three of them then immediately apologized to me, and that is when I broke down for the first time and expressed to them how disappointing it was for none of them siding with me. My mom immediately pulled me into a tight hug, and both my dad and father-in-law told me that they would help me to the best of their abilities. Lily ended up facing jail time for child neglect and some sort of community service. I mean, it's not a lot at all, say everything would end in a couple of months for her, but this has affected her teaching job tremendously, and deservedly so. This has also strained the relationship between John, Lily, ex father in law, and the siblings because Lily and John chose to not accept their mistakes. It's almost creepy to see how much the two are doing to side with each other, but thankfully, they're no longer my concern. I have filed for a divorce and the proceedings will start soon. I'm hoping for a smooth divorce because now I just want to live a life without all these pathetic people and look after my children who deserve so much love and support. I have put them in therapy and I'm also going to try for full custody. Thanks, everyone. NTA, put her in jail. What kind of a wicked monster makes children starve? You really need to take a stand this time and look out for your children. NTA, good on you for cutting out those pathetic excuses of a family out of your life. You and your children deserve so much better. I, 28 female, have a 7-year-old daughter with my ex-husband, Liam, 44. Liam has been dating a woman, Ellen, 33, female, for 6 months. She has already moved in with him and has been trying to take on the role as the second mom. Not stepmom, second mom. She insists my daughter calls her mom when they are together, which my daughter is uncomfortable with. Ellen usually is the one who drops my daughter off as Liam works 2 jobs. I don't like that Ellen is the one that drops my daughter off because if I need to speak to Liam about something pertaining to our daughter, then she always has to give her input. Medically, school, having extra time together on either side, etc. I've let both Ellen and Liam know that she doesn't have any input on what goes on with our daughter, but they both brushed it off. The issue happened last Friday when we were doing our switch off, and I went to our spot we usually meet to pick up our daughter. I waited for about 4 hours, then called Liam asking where Ellen was and if she got lost. The conversation went like this. Me. Liam, where's Ellen? I've been waiting for hours and she's still not here. Did she get lost? Liam. What do you mean? I thought she told you she wanted to extend our time together. Me. No, I never gotten a call or text about that. Can you put her on the phone? Liam. She's with Ellen visiting family in New York. At this point, I lost it on him. 1, for not even being with our daughter, and 2, for not checking with me to make sure I knew about this. I told him to call her and tell her to bring her back, and from now on, Ellen is never allowed to be around my daughter. Liam said I was overreacting and that it would mean he would have to quit his second job. He's completely fine with just 1 job. His main job pays 6 figures. I told him, too bad, and called Ellen, telling her if she didn't bring my daughter back right now, that I would call the cops. She just said, fine, way to ruin the fun, and how she wanted my daughter to meet her family because they are going to be my daughter's family soon. She apparently didn't even make it to her family's house because 2 hours later she pulled into our meeting spot. I didn't say a word to her, took my daughter, and haven't spoken to Liam unless it's strictly about our daughter. I've asked my family about this, and majority said that it was wrong to yell at Ellen as she just wanted to bond with my daughter, and I should be glad she's not an evil person. AITA? NTA. Go back to court and get it in writing that someone can't just take your daughter to another state without the parent. She also needs to stop telling your daughter to call her mom. If needed, take your daughter to a therapist to testify that it's detrimental to your daughter, especially if she doesn't want her to call her dad's girlfriend mom. They aren't even married. You also need to point out to the judge that your ex isn't spending his parenting time with his daughter, but with a babysitter. No, no, no. He has only been dating her for 6 months. She should still be having limited contact with your daughter and definitely not having any kind of decision making authority. NTA, as a father, your ex never should have let this get so out of control this quickly. I'm a 53-year-old male, and my wife is 45, and I have been married for 10 years. I have a bio son from my previous marriage, Logan, 28, male, and three stepchildren with my wife, Mike, 16, Lisa, 14, and Nina, 12. I haven't seen my son since the pandemic started because he got stuck in another country. We text, call, and voice call, but it's not the same as having him here. When flights are allowed again, he still couldn't come since he got an amazing job opportunity and wanted to do his best. It made me sad because I miss my boy so much. However, I understood that life is sometimes hard. I love my stepchildren so much. I call them my children and they call me dad. I'm only calling them stepchildren for the sake of the post. They're amazing kids, and I'm really proud of them a lot. My birthdays are magical with them, lots of fun, games and food. This year's Logan is coming to the US for a work trip that falls in my birthday week. My birthday is during a Tuesday, and he's coming Monday to Friday to a city close to where we live. He's unable to make the drive here and there, so I said I'll be coming to him since his company allows one free day per worker during that week, and he asked for Tuesday. This means I won't be able to be here with the rest of my children since I'll have to leave at 5 a.m. and then I'll be back around 10 or 11 p.m. When I commented this to them, they're bummed, and Mike said it was unfair of me to choose my bio kid over them. But as I see them, I have to choose either way. My kids go to school in the morning, so we would celebrate after 2 to 3 p.m. I can't take them with me, and Logan can't come here. It's just a day. For all these years, I have been unable to see him, and we can still do something together during the weekend. I apologized, but said that my decision was final, and at night, my wife said I was an AH and that I was no better than those step parents who cast their stepchildren aside for their bio kids, and that she knows I've always loved Logan more, which is not true. She says me going will damage my relationship with my stepkids forever. NTA, she says you're one of those step parents who cast the stepkids aside? No, she's one of those parents. He's her stepson, just as they are your stepchildren. The fact she doesn't want you to go see him sounds like she's trying to make sure her kids are more important rather than equally important. Don't let her stop you from seeing your boy, and I guarantee you, if you've been raising those kids right, they'll come to understand when you explain it. NTA, your wife is an AH and completely lacks empathy. The age difference in your kids and the timeline with your wife makes me think that your oldest hasn't spent much time with his step family. So your stepkids have come to the conclusion that their physical presence makes them more important. Mike's comment about it not being fair is the one that bothers me. He's old enough to know that you don't always get everything you want and should be able to understand you wanting to spend time with your oldest son. Sit down with your stepkids and explain that you are their dad and they are your babies, but Logan is your son too. It's a birthday present to yourself to see the baby you haven't seen in so long. To imagine if they had not seen you or their mother in years. Then, when you get the chance to meet, find out that their siblings don't want you to see them because they don't think it's fair even though they see them every day. You know it sucks that they might not see you on your birthday, but you will absolutely do something with them the weekend before or after. NTA. If my mom said she wanted a day with my older sister, that would be fine because she doesn't see her as much as she sees me. We're 100% siblings, by the way. Go hang out with your son. Your other kids will get over it. Explain to them they've had all these birthdays with you and you haven't seen your son. Assure them you love them and that you guys can hang out on the weekend or whenever suits. This isn't something you should be made to feel guilty over. I can understand if kids are sensitive or aware of being the step kids, or if they had abandonment issues due to their other father. They also haven't had to share you in so long. They probably feel as if they have monopoly over you or that you should be closer to them. The thing is, though, your wife isn't helping. She can disagree with you all she wants, but she should be stepping forward and reassuring these kids and nipping the bitterness and attitude